Hey everybody, this is Cody Barnett at Bodyworx Physical Therapy and Concussion Center, and we're here for our virtual online office hours again this Wednesday, and appreciate you coming on and joining us. So as you know, if you've been following our videos at all, we've been pulling quotes off of Dr. Doug's quote wall. And so we're going to use one of my quotes from one of my patients, but it just so happens to be on his quote wall. And the quote we're going to use is this one. This is from one of my patients I'm very fond of, and she's a sweet German lady. And the quote is this: "Where rosted, der roasted." Now I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly because it is German. But where rosted, der roasted means in English is if you rest, you rust. And so we're going to talk today about what to do if you're feeling a little bit rusty. And we had a nice comment last week from our last video about wanting some information on how to loosen up hips. And so if you have a hip that's feeling a little stiff or a little rusty, don't pull out the WD-40, but try one of these exercises that we're going to show you. So come with me, join me. We're going to go out in the other room. And look who's here.
Oh, it's Carol.
It's Carol
Hi.
Keller, the famous pediatric physical therapist. We're glad to have you here. What are you doing laying here just like this? It's amazing that you're here, right now.
It is amazing.
Would you like to join us for our online office hours?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Cool. All right, so what we were talking about in the other room was if you rest, you rust, and having stiff hips. So we're going to show everybody a couple of simple hip exercises that you can do if you have rusty hips. Is that okay? Sound cool?
That sounds good. I sometimes have a little rust.
Okay, so number one goes like this. Carol, what we're going to do is have you bring this leg up over that knee. We're going to bring this leg and bring it up towards you and grab right back here behind your thigh. And just really gently as you pull that up, should feel a little stretch or a little pull through the back of the hip or in the rear end. Yep. So that would be number one. You just do that really gently. If you're really tight back through there, then you want to be pretty gentle, because if you overstretch this can really make you sore. So you want to do it really gently. But that would be number one. Number two goes like this. We're going to take your legs and bring this down. It's going to be there and there. So her legs are a little bit wide, just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And she's going to rotate. I'm going to have you rotate this knee towards this opposite heel bone. And you can see as she does that, that makes her right hip rotates in, left hip rotates out, and then reverse, go the other way. This knee goes towards this heel, this hip is rotating out, this hip is rotating in. Real simple exercise, and you just do that back and forth. Maybe hold for just a few seconds. And we call these windshield wipers. And that will help loosen up your hips. Now this does, you can tell, this does put a little bit of rotation through the lower back. So if you have any lower back soreness with this, maybe back off and be more gentle, because we don't want to cause something else to be sore.
Perhaps they could see a therapist about that.
I know, I bet you could see a therapist about that if you're having trouble. So that's right. Absolutely. So there you have it. A couple of exercises. If you have some rusty hips, make sure that you don't rest too much so that you don't get rusty. And if you want to stay mobile and active and off of pain pills, and you have an ache or pain, feel free to give us a buzz. And feel free to also leave us comments in the comments below if there's some other topics you'd like us to cover. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining us.